I've already asked you who uses Google. There's one or two in the room now. Those people who use Google quite regularly may have noticed in the last week or so we've actually changed this page. It's changed slightly differently. And what is the key change? Well, as you're looking at it on the right, left-hand side, we've actually opened up more options. So you can actually now start to hone in your search purely by different media types. So you can look at it and just search for content results based on video or news or blogs or discussions, those sorts of things. So this is a great way of actually trying to understand what's happening in the market. In addition to that, there's some additional search options that have come over there. And you can start to identify, well, I'm only interested in the results that came up in the last 24 hours, or the latest results, or in the last 12 months, and such like. And you can actually customize that as well. So you can really understand, well, what's important today, and what are people talking about? So you can really focus down on that information. Now, I'm just going to show a couple of those tools, which I think are quite interesting. So apologies if you don't, but it's my gig. And just go through that and show you how you can potentially use this. Now, on that left-hand column, there was something called a wonder wheel. Now, this wonder wheel can represent your search query and the term that you're looking for, and identify the key terms and interests that other people are looking for that are related to it. So this is great if you've got a product or a brand, and you type that in. So in this example, apologies if you can't read it, we've gone for BP oil spill. Nothing like being up to date and topical. And we've looked at that, and then what you do is it comes up with a wheel and identifies other related terms, and you click on that, and then another wheel appears, and you can actually start to see, well, what are the terms related to that? And you can do this infinitum, and it really provides you with insight of, right, okay, my core area is accountancy firms. Well, what are other people looking for around that? Are my competitors coming up? Am I coming up as a brand? So really trying to build that insight. Has anyone used Wonder Wheel? Oh, somebody rather shyly. Yeah. Okay, so 1 out of 150. My job here is not done. 2, fantastic. Okay, I feel like I'm in an auction now. 3, 4. The next area is very much around understanding news and what's happening. And so you can actually identify, well, what are the news items and the news articles that have been coming around around a particular issue. And you can do this over a time period as well. So it actually tracks back, and you can do it, depending on your topic, back a couple of 100 years. And it will show you the news items. Now, actually, you're thinking, well, the internet's only been around 20 years. How can we go back that far? But it's related to the relevancy of the articles and if it's got dates and things referred to it. So again, on this example, we're using the oil spill. And what we see is there's a peak in news items at the moment around it. Then it was fairly flat. And however, back in the early 80s or late 70s, there was a big peak around the Exxon Valdez situation. So you can start to understand how news is impacting things. And the final thing on this, search as a window to your brand is something called Google Alerts. Does anyone in the room use Google Alerts? Yeah. Okay, well, there's a few of you. Now, you'll already know the benefit of this, but you can actually set up, rather than you going out and searching and looking for all this information about yourself or your competitors or your particular business area, you can actually set these up to be automatically pushed to you at the end of each day or the end of each week or whatever time frame you'd like. So it's a great way of actually understanding what's happening in the market and having that pushed towards you. I have it on several areas, and I can tell at about 6 o'clock every night, being a whole load of these Google alerts come into my inbox. And it's a very effective way of understanding what the news items are out there. Now, we rather grandiosely, or maybe potentially arrogantly, don't think of search as a media. We think of search as a behavior. And I think my video that I showed up front actually kind of proves that, is that, well, what do? You go and search for something. You can build up your whole, the information you're looking for. You can, for me to get here this morning, go on to maps or whatever else it is. So as a behavior, it means that you can actually track what people are doing, and you can actually create trends and understanding. And this tool is called Insights for Search, and this is a fantastic tool to understand over a period of time peaks and troughs in search volume. It's an indexed result, so it won't give you actual numbers, but peaks and troughs over a period of time of how much interest there is or how much search activity there is in a particular topic or area. So the example I've used here is dedicated server in the red line, and we'll see over the period since 2006 that's been steady to falling. However, cloud computing has gone through the roof in comparison on search volumes since it started in 2008 or so. So again, this is another way of understanding what your customers are looking for and how they're doing it. And actually, to get hold of this tool, just literally search for Insights for Search, and it should be the top link that comes back. If it's not, let me know, because obviously we need to do something about that. And you can do this, and on that page as well, it's not just the search trends that you can see. It gives you indication of the geography that those searches are coming from. So is it more from England, or is it from Wales or from Scotland, those types of things. And also related search terms, so the search terms that contain those phrases as well, and how popular they are. I mentioned earlier, as you can filter your search results by blogs and news as well. Now, this is great to understand what's actually happening. I discussed the concept of user-generated content earlier, and there's 145,000 blogs or so created every day. So there's a huge amount of user-generated content out there, and it's a great way to understand what's happening and what people are talking about you. Certainly in larger companies, and particularly in the technology space, I know there's some people from Oracle in the room, companies like that often spend a lot of time trying to influence and communicate directly with the blogosphere. And it's really good to understand, because these people are influencers. They are, and it's key to understand what they're doing, because you need to influence the influencers. So by setting up and searching on the blog search, you can actually understand what's happening there. I don't know if there's anyone from Cisco in the room, but there's a wonderful quote at the bottom there of WebEx Connect is the most transformational product in Cisco's portfolio. But they then go on to say, we hope Cisco don't muck it up. I paraphrase. But again, that's really useful insight and understanding to know. And then you can actually, there's another tool called the Google Keyword Tool, and again, open to everyone, this is free, where you can actually start to see real search volumes. You can understand, well, how many people are searching for my product? How many people are searching for my brand? How many people are searching for my competitors' brands and products as well? So again, using the WebEx example here, and this is global figures for 1 month, last month I think it was, is that there's 550,000 people have searched for that brand. They've got related products at Cisco, telepresence being one, and there's 110,000 searches for that. But working from home, which is you've got a web conferencing system working from home, that seems a sensible, how to make that more efficient. And there's 2.2 million searches just on that term as well. So again, I'd recommend you go online, look for the keyword tool, and actually understand, well, how much interest is there in my product? I was speaking to a packaging company fairly recently, and I play this game called Keyword Bingo, and I put up their brand and said, that's your brand. How many people do you think searched last month on that brand? And it was like, well, 3 people, 5 people. Somebody said 1 million. It was like a slight exaggeration, it's only boxes. And basically, there were a couple of thousand people that searched for it. And that is more people than would come through their telesales system in basically 6 months. So there's a lot of activity out there, and they just weren't aware of that. So it's a great tool for understanding exactly what that activity is.